Once upon a time in the ancient land of Mesopotamia, there lived a man named Abraham. He was known for his unwavering faith and righteousness. Let's delve into the journey of Abraham, a man chosen by God for a divine purpose. The story begins with God's call to Abram. One day, as Abram was going about his daily life, God spoke to him, commanding him to leave his homeland, Ur of the Chaldeans, and journey to a land that he would show him. This call marked the beginning of Abram's remarkable journey of faith. Abram, along with his wife Sarah and nephew Lot, obediently set out on this journey. However, as they traveled, tensions arose between Abram's herdsmen and Lot's, leading to strife among their families. To resolve the conflict, Abram made the difficult decision to part ways with Lot, allowing him to choose the land he desired. Lot chose the fertile plain of Jordan, while Abram continued his journey into the land of Canaan. During his travels, Abram encountered a mysterious figure named Melchizedek, the king of Salem, and a priest of God Most High. Melchizedek blessed Abram and offered him bread and wine, foreshadowing the establishment of a priesthood and the future sacrifice of Christ. This encounter affirmed Abram's faith and foreshadowed the divine covenant that would later be made. As Abram continued to trust in God's guidance, God made a covenant with him, promising to bless him abundantly and make his descendants into a great nation. This covenant, originally established when Abraham was known as Abram, marked a pivotal moment in his faith journey. It was accompanied by a significant change in his identity, symbolized by God renaming him Abraham, meaning father of many nations, reflecting the promise of numerous descendants. Years passed, and Abraham and Sarah remained childless, despite God's promise. Sarah grew weary and heartbroken, believing she was too old to bear a child. In desperation, she gave her Egyptian servant Hagar to Abraham, hoping to build a family through her. Hagar conceived and gave birth to a son, and they named him Ishmael. But tension grew between Sarah and Hagar, and Sarah's heart became heavy with regret. Though Abraham loved Ishmael, God told him that the promised child would come through Sarah. One day, when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was 90, God fulfilled his promise. Sarah miraculously conceived and gave birth to a son. They named him Isaac, which means laughter, because Sarah said, "God has brought me laughter, and all who hear about this will laugh with me." The birth of Isaac was not just a family moment. It was the fulfillment of a divine promise and a new beginning for generations to come. However, Sarah grew anxious and fearful that Ishmael, her handmaid Hagar's son, would pose a threat to Isaac's inheritance. Consequently, she convinced Abraham to send Hagar and Ishmael away. Though reluctant, Abraham trusted in God's plan and provided for Hagar and Ishmael as they journeyed into the wilderness. Years passed, and Sarah passed away, leaving Abraham to mourn her loss. Yet even in his grief, Abraham remained faithful to God, trusting in his providence and promises. In his old age, Abraham turned his attention to securing a wife for Isaac, his beloved son. He entrusted this important task to his servant, who journeyed to Abraham's homeland to find a suitable bride. Through divine intervention, the servant encountered Rebekah, who proved to be the perfect match for Isaac. This union ensured the continuation of God's covenant and the fulfillment of his promises to Abraham. In conclusion, The story of Abraham is one of faith, obedience, and divine providence. Through his unwavering trust in God, Abraham became the father of nations and a shining example of righteousness for generations to come. His journey serves as a reminder of the power of faith and the blessings that come from obedience to God's will.